Didn't bring the guitar.
I actually did. I just want.
it's out
I
there.
told Fig. I was like, man, I'm gonna bring this guitar, but I don't want to bring it in unless it's asked about. So I mean, I can go grab him. Grab that motherfucker right now.
Are you on like Spotify or anything?
Man, I'm not. I just opened up my Patreon page.
I saw that.
And man, you know, part of the thing about being a musician is, you know, you got to have other jobs, and also like most musicians, 99.9%, like if you record something, you aren't going to make your money back. And
Even if it's your own shit?
yeah, correct.
Damn.
And so like let's say I had something on Spotify, and Eric and Fig and JP want to listen to it, right? If all y'all listen to it, one song, that's 1 cent to my name.
Yeah.
Okay, so like to spend the time recording and all the other stuff, like, dude, I've had to pay bills. Like, I'm a manual laborer. I've been working fields. I've been working like construction. I've been building brick ovens. Like, I do catering, like whatever the fuck. Like, so it's like, hey man, I don't got the money to do that. And so like, I'm gonna spend my time like, look at right now. Hold on.
What?
Always pen, paper, and phone, dude. Like my time as a songwriter, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so, like, what about these people that, like, record on their computer and shit?
No, man, that's a real thing. And, like,
And you can put that on Spotify, couldn't you?
correct.
Or, yeah.
And I can do that, man. Like, I've slowly been able to, like, build the tools for that. Like, this past February, I got a laptop that now has, like, the GarageBand situation that I need. And over Christmas got a mic that I needed. And also, like, man, like, I'm not making excuses for myself. It's just the flat out like, hey man, day-to-day living, and like, man, I'm in survival mode right now.
Yeah.
You know, like, not looking for sympathy. It's just like, hey man, like, not looking to make money on this shit right now, because like, I'm either gonna gig for money, I'm gonna go build bricks for money, I'm gonna do whatever for money, but like, my art is not manufacturing the money. And so that's why I, you know, did the Patreon thing. It's like, hey motherfuckers, like, if y'all actually believe in me, like, give me $1, buy me one beer a fucking month.
Yeah.
You know,
One.
like, one beer. Like,
and so when you were doing the Facebook, like the donation things,
yeah,
you
the
were
hippie-
donating all that money to other people, weren't you?
Yeah, so it was, and depending on whoever I was doing it for, like, there were some, it was like all the money is going to them. The other part was like, sometimes like half the money is going to me, half the money is going to them. But like, they don't got to do shit. Like, I'm just like picking them out of like either people I know through a friend. And it's like, hey man, like, let me help. Like, what can I do to like keep up my craft and also help other motherfuckers out like during this pandemic and fucked up time. And I thought it was gonna be 6 weeks, man, for real. I went 55 weeks undefeated, dude. And I had a fucking deviated septum nose surgery in between that, because I haven't been able to like breathe my whole life minus like the past like couple of years. And I was like, man.
And you got a motherfucker doing cocaine his whole life with no
Yeah,
problems.
right.
No problems.
These motherfuckers
Cleared the
is-
sinuses, man.
Right,
Cleared the
right.
sinuses.
Doing rails.
Why can't I have this lot?
Smell the flowers. Man. Smell the fucking flowers.
Yeah, that fucking cokehead his whole life ain't had no fucking problems.
Yeah, fuck, man, I can't breathe. I'm trying to play football. Fuck. But no, even with that, man, I mean, those were abbreviated little episodes, but no, man, it blows my mind, like, you even asking about it, because like other people have asked about it and they're like, man, that was like a cool thing. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
used to watch you, man, and I thought it was cool shit.
that's trippy, man. I appreciate that, man.
You when you do shit like that, you kind of know who the fuck gives a shit about you, kind of, sorta.
For real, man. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I've always said you can't fake putting an ass in the seat.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like whether it's a digital one or like in a brewery or a bar or whatever. Like if you show the fuck up, like I mean, that's one of the reasons like why I love this motherfucker over here. Like you're the only one that can compete with my heart on Lubbock High football. Like we're sprinting in and doing the shit, and like I mean, a lot of love for everyone on that team, and shit, better players than me. But like we're talking about heart, like you're the only one that can even compete.
Oh yeah.
Like, and so it's like, nah, man. Like got respect and love, and so it's like, nah, man, just do the thing. I mean, it's like what.
Yeah.
It's like what you do, like in all y'all's adult lives. Like, man, like.
But you being an artist,
Mm-hmm.
so my wife is an actual artist, like
No, man, she has some badass shit.
okay, so when she does her art shows and stuff, people legit go check out her stuff with no intention of buying anything, but the care to like check it out and then be like, do you have a Instagram? I want to start following you or something. That's almost worth more than buying something from her.
True.
To her.
And I
Yeah.
feel like nowadays it is, especially like that's just getting that exposure is crazy. Like, because if they follow her, then all of the people that follow them are gonna see.
They're gonna
It's
see it,
just
yeah.
it just kind of
It's just crazy because
and that's awesome. Man.
You would think that like the artist mentality is like, you know, you're saying you're fucking working all these jobs and shit, like buy my music. So I would think she's the same way, like buy my fucking art.
Yeah.
But dude, she gets more from like a single mom or a daughter running up to her and be like, I love all this stuff. Like, what's your Instagram? And that's payment enough. Like,
Right.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it's yeah, y'all talked about that guitar. I'll go grab it here in a little bit, but like yeah, man, I mean my girlfriend Ryan, her thing is relieving trauma through jujitsu. Like that's like
Oh,
what
wow.
she spent in like her 10,000 hours. She just launched her business. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, like within the past month, and she already, like, it's still in the works, but maybe doing like this women's like music festival. And before I even met her, I was like, nah, man, because like I got a niece, I got loved ones I care about. Like, shit, little Avery. Like the first time I met Fig's daughter, I was like, I will kill every motherfucker that deals with me. Like,
you ever been with a man?
yeah. You ever seen a grown man naked?
You're at least 40.
Yeah, it's like, nah, man, like,
Dude, how classic is that line? And then like how
It's primo, baby.
how cancelable is it now?
I mean, yeah,
Right?
Not,
Like-
not, and so like, all right, so this term cancelable.
Yeah.
What
The cancel culture bullshit.
Yeah, man. All right. So here's what I think about it, in my own opinion. Because, like, if I talk to the people that are Republicans, they're going to think I'm a Democrat. If I talk to the Democrats, they're going to think I'm a Republican. Like, where my thing is like all earthlings. That includes water, possums, you know, hamsters, humans, whatever. Like, what can we do for the best of all of us, right? So I don't buy into this red or blue bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. The cancel culture, hey, man, everyone has the right to say anything they want. Every single human being. Like, I don't care if it's in the Constitution or not. Every single human. Zero humans have the right to control how other humans take their message. So it's like, if I was going to sit here and let's pretend like it's me and Fig, and then we got the Villarreals, man, we got the Lopez's, and like we got like 50 people in here, and I'm like saying, fuck Mexicans, okay? Like, man, I got the right to say that shit. Also, y'all got the right to whip my fucking ass right out the goddamn door,
Yeah.
man. You know, it's like everyone has a right to say whatever they want. Everyone has a right to quote unquote cancel someone, because it's like, no, I don't want to hear that fucking shit. So I'm gonna delete your ass. You know?
I get everything you're saying, but the shit that pisses me off is like the people that are stating facts and the obvious shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, this is vanilla bourbon. That's offensive. Yep. I don't. No. That.
Okay, yeah. I'm
that's
down with
the shit that like.
Yeah.
I don't have to participate in your delusional fucking mind. Like people that want to listen to your music, if they don't like it, fucking turn it off.
Exactly. That's my point. Yeah, exactly. Like, no, I feel you on that one. Yeah, and I feel like we have gotten to a point, unfortunately, as human beings, and like Fig and I have talked about this shit before a lot of times, where it's like, damn, man, like, however you vote, like, all of a sudden determines, like, whether we like each other or not.
Fuck with you or not.
Right, or just be in the same room as you.
But that's all by design. They need red and blue.
Right.
Divide and conquer, bro. Like, yeah.
And I say, fuck all that bullshit.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we ready to start the fucking show?
Damn, I thought we were.
No, man. We just bullshit, man.
Good. We got the warm up out.
Fuck, here we go.
John Eric. Media.
Okay. Here we go.
All you ladies, pull your chi-chis out. This is the JP Lopez show. Also, if you're a transgender, pull your pecker out. This is the JP Lopez show.
What is up? Thank you for tuning back into the JP Lopez show. I got two new first timers in this fucking building, man.
Vagina's gonna get popped.
Popping cherries, baby.
I got Fig and I got Jordan here in the studio. All right. Jordan, how long did we set this go? Like, we set the ball in motion like tailgate last year.
Yes, sir.
Maybe some game last year. I don't know what game. But then we really put this into play like in March.
Correct.
And then we were like, yeah, in 5 months, man. We'll
5 months. We got this.
Yeah. I go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
No, so my girlfriend, my partner Ryan, we were swinging through Lubbock, and I think it was like
actual swingers.
Yeah,
that's a thing here.
Pineapple.
It's a
big I don't want. I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak for the woman, but if the price is right, I'm sure we'll figure something out. You know.
What would you do with $1 million?
I mean, 10 million, motherfucker.
Besides 2 chicks at the same time.
I believe 2 chicks that want to double up on a man like me.
What am I going to do with 40 subscriptions of Vibe magazine?
Hello, my name is.
I don't know if there's 2 involved, one of them ain't getting turned.
No, so
especially if she has man hands, she's out.
No,
I need small little hands.
No, I got it. Don't touch it. I got it.
I mean, I definitely look for a girl with small hands. You know, makes me feel more confident as a man.
Big heart, small hands.
Goddamn, my mama's gonna listen to this bullshit. Man, I promise.
So what's going on, bro? I hadn't seen you since freak, man.
Dude, probably that tailgate.
Probably that tailgate.
Yeah, and I told Ryan, I was like, man, I want to take you in for like, you know, A&M or a UT tailgate, because that's when like shit's gonna get down.
Yeah,
I think it was like Kansas or somebody, and I was like, and I just like reached out to Sugar Bear, and I was like, hey man, I was like, y'all got a tailgate going on? He was like, yeah man, all the time, every Saturday.
Yeah.
And
like clockwork, baby.
Right. And so like I told Ryan, I was like, hey man, let's show up soon, you know, like early on. I was like, it may not be like a rowdy one. I was like, but I'm telling you, my boys are gonna be throwing it down. Like, I don't care what the fuck is going on. Like, they're gonna have good shit and at least get like a tailgate experience.
Yes.
You know? And it's like, hey man, you're welcome. Like, if you have something to contribute, great. If not, like, hey man, have free pork, have a free beer, you know? And like, y'all did it so right, man. I was like,
bro, when you're family, you're family, bro.
Man, that's sweet of you,
we're
brother.
not. Hey, dude, you got to put in on this shit.
No, that's sweet of you, man. But like, I want to put in on shit, and like, both you individuals, like in different ways, like have shit. All three of y'all, man, like have helped my ass out in a different way. Like, yeah, man, y'all have kept my ship afloat.
Well, if you need any help looking for a Burt Reynolds mustache, holler at my boy Fig.
I got you. I got
Get
you.
it straight.
I got you.
Well,
The handlebars and everything.
We'll get all his social forwarded to you.
Yeah.
Need any help on
had,
that?
My little girl's school, I heard the teacher and her assistant like, well, you ask him. And so for a long time, our chief had kind of been a stickler on, you know,
No facial hair.
because our mask had to seal. So it's kind of like if you could have a mustache, but it had to be, you know. And I think I trim it every now and then, but couldn't grow it very long. And man, this guy had one of the big waxed, and it looked awesome.
Yeah.
And he did all the research and ran it up the chain, and they were like, okay, like it checks out. So it was like the next week, and there's probably 4 or 5 other firemen that take their kids to my daughter's school, and shit, they were like, what is the deal with all y'all all of a sudden having these big mustaches? I said, well, we kind of can now. Like, it's a good thing. So.
Shout out to David for finding the loopholes and
That's
shit.
right. Thanks, Al. Appreciate your house.
Did all the research and everything.
Yeah, good on you.
Did you know in New York City?
We definitely need to shout out the houses because they're going to be pissed that they're not in here.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, man.
We need to try to work that out. Yes. All of us get. I don't know if we can all fit in this.
There's a lot of real estate of men in.
Yes, there is. There's a lot of acreage coming in, but that's all right.
And you know, if we have both of them, Uncle Jarvis is coming too.
My
Don't
goodness.
threaten me with a good time.
We're gonna have to have the podcast at a park.
The group picture is going to be a fucking panoramic.
We're out here at Clap Park.
Somebody's gonna be on this side and this side.
No, man,
Every time there's always that one
guy
guy.
on the ends, man. It'd be like a good frame.
I could see you doing that.
Did y'all fuckers flip off the panoramic student picture?
Never heard of such.
No.
Hell yes, we did, motherfucker.
I've always been a model citizen.
JT Hutch, baby.
Yeah. It was always like the weirdest fucking edit too. Like, it was like you just knew the motherfucker
My
was
strong hand. Like,
My strong hand.
All right. I want to ask.
pretty hair.
I want to ask a question
Yeah, go ahead.
to the host there. JP, what's your first memory of me?
First memory of you. So I didn't even know you. I didn't even know who you were. And Grayson invites me over for Friday lunch. Dude, why did your mom cook every Friday? She just did,
Because
right?
she's badass.
Right, but she just did, right? It wasn't
Because she's
like
a bad bitch. That's why she cooked.
And I
she's a
don't
bad
doubt that
bitch.
because it was awesome. But it wasn't like for just Grayson to invite us. Like she was just doing that.
No,
right?
she was doing it for y'all, man.
Oh, okay. So
She was doing it for y'all, man.
Okay.
I mean, she didn't cook for her sons, but like that's a different schedule that I had, like, because I was like, 3 years behind Grayson. So,
Yeah.
But like, no, man, she loved y'all, and y'all gonna watch Jerry Springer.
Well,
and
that's
shit.
the thing. That's the thing, dude. So I was right in the middle because Grayson was 1 grade year above me. Mm-hmm. So I go out with all the older fuckers thinking I'm cool as shit to y'all's house, to Grayson's mom's house to eat, and I'm like, this is a big ass spread, dude. Like,
Mama Becky puts it on, baby.
bro, I'm used to a big spread like a Mexican family. You know what I mean? When you show up to a White House, you got like fucking
you
ham
got
sandwich.
gourmet shit.
You got a ham
Yeah.
sandwich and fucking potato salad out of a tub or some shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, your mom did it up, right? So, anyways, I'm probably like week 3 of being at your house because we got off at Lubbock High at 12, so you're still at school and shit. But I see a picture on y'all's mantle of you and Grayson like bent over with y'all's ass out, and I was like, hey Grayson, you and your brother's balls are showing in this motherfucker.
Hey, mom is so proud of her. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, they got big balls. I baked them myself.
I got these big balls in Cowtown. Yeah, and so you know that's my first like, who the fuck is this dude? This dude's all. And then I don't know, maybe a couple weeks later, you're around, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And it was, our relationship was never like, you know, like, oh, you're the punk ass little brother, like, get the fuck away. It was always like, hey, let's show him some shit, like,
Yeah.
like let's include him on some fuckery, like,
Dude, man, I felt so, I guess the word is loved. My very first day of high school, you and Signs,
oh yeah,
y'all like
yeah.
took me to Pinocchio's.
For lunch.
Yeah, for lunch. I was like, God damn, I'm a sophomore getting to go off campus. Like, hot shit, you know?
I think we saw you walking or some shit. Like, hey man, hop in.
Yeah,
and there's
y'all
like
were
20 motherfuckers in my truck, and I'm like, hey, we got room for one more.
Come on.
That was his first introduced to how Mexicans travel.
Yeah, no, it's great, man.
We always feel one more.
Hey, Fig, what's your first memory with either one of those guys or myself? Either one.
Well, I met both of them through you, obviously, but my first memory of you was, so we lived down the hall in the dorms from each other is how I met him, and man, it was you had brought your whatever the PlayStation was at the time. I might say 2. I might date us a little bit.
Yeah.
PS2 or 3. Fuck, I don't know.
It was the
Two's
first
the
one.
best.
Yeah,
Two's
it might
the
be.
best.
It might have been the one.
It was
with
the
Bruce
Super
Willis.
Nintendo. Super Nintendo.
It was
We had the little pad. And we
it was a
were,
Nintendo 64.
yeah, we had the pad. We were chasing it, trying to beat Cheetah and shit. But
I met you through Eric because of the door guy at Chimmy's.
yeah.
And I'll just say it, man. You fucking led a bunch of pussy that I smashed. That was way young. Way fucking young.
Okay.
Over 18. They were over 18. They were over 18.
Well, yeah. But they weren't 21 like
hold on.
you need to be. Eric was like, no, man, my buddy will let him in. I'm like, come on.
Come on in.
No, I remember seeing their IDs. It was like, what was that? The baseball or the basketball or something. And you'd give me the paper, and there was money in there, and it said, I am 21. I'm like, it checks out. Let's go. It checks out. Let's go. Come on in.
That's before TABC was doing all their fuckery and shit.
Yeah.
You didn't even click her in.
Yeah, well, man, they still. Yeah.
She wasn't even in attendance. She didn't even get a click.
No, but Jordan was the manager behind the bar.
I acted like
He
it.
was. Yeah, he did.
He was acting manager.
But yeah, damn sure I was like, hey man, I got boys in this motherfucker, and like he was already my boy. I'm like, no, this guy's a made man. Like you,
Dude, hands up. I just go like this to Jordan when I need another beer and there's 18 people in front of me. I just
dude,
go like this.
you're one of 5 people, minus the people that work
Yeah.
there. Like you're one of like 5 people that can pull that move. And like I was like, Dylan Palmer. You remember that man?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Dude, I mean, we got a couple cats that like they're gonna like sit over there. They're gonna be there from 3 p.m. to
Close.
yeah,
Close.
But,
Yeah,
but
it
you're
was-
gonna drink your ass off and also tip and be cool as a motherfucker.
yes.
And it's like,
And hopefully
man.
hook up with a chick.
right. But it was like,
How epic is that bar, though? Even
You said
still,
it. You
even
said
still
it.
to this
Oh,
day,
it's
like
it's
Dude.
huge. Like
It's iconic.
yeah, and we kept when you were still in Colorado, I guess I come up there a few days and hung out with you, met Ryan. We man, it was crazy. We talked about that, and I'm sure it's still good up there, but I feel like when we worked there, man, it was kind of the heyday where
Dude.
it was
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is.
just the vibes that we put out.
What,
like,
wasn't the margaritas made with Everclear?
no,
so no, they weren't, and
No.
we both had bar backed.
So they weren't
at some
the
time.
house
No,
margarita,
no.
No.
dude. Because just one
Yeah.
Here's
would fuck
the
fuck
ratio,
girls up
like
crazy.
the ratio, and it was it was tequila I'd never fucking heard of. Like,
Okay.
I don't even think they even put it on the bottom
I never
shelf.
heard
They kept
that. I
No,
just
I heard of it.
assumed
They kept
had
it in
to
the
have been-
cellar in the back. It was
Okay.
that bad, and they would bring it to Chimmy's, and we'd make
Bro,
our
I just
margaritas with
assumed
it.
it had to have
All
been
right,
Everclear
all right.
because one would fuck
Yeah. No, the-
just a random
Oh, yeah.
regular
All right.
girl up, man.
Here,
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Go ahead.
give me the recipe.
all right. So here was the thing. All right. So with the rocks, it was 50% sweet and sour, 50% Puerto Vallarta, and then you have a little like frozen
That's
concentrate.
not even right, bro.
A frozen concentrate of like Five Alive. Okay, that's the rocks.
What's Five Alive?
It's
is
like
it kind of
uh,
like Sunny D?
you-
kinda?
yeah, you know
Same
like the
difference?
little frozen
the
like
frozen little
Yeah.
silos that can
Yeah,
be
yeah,
orange juice and like
Okay.
Five Alive. So it's like orange juice, a little bit of lime, whatever. Like they're probably just making it up. But 50% Puerto Vallarta Gold, 50% sweet and sour, and then one little fucking cylinder of that
Fig is
shit.
saying some shit. You can't even get that here. It just ships directly
Hey,
to
wait,
Jimmy's.
hey, what was it? The Cadillac. The Cadillac
the
in
Cadillac
the heyday.
was the Cadillac
Yeah.
was the 1800.
Uh-huh.
So we got like
And then the Ferrari was like
tequila.
1800.
it was like
Or no,
Cabo,
Cabo,
Yeah,
Cabo,
Cabo
and
Wabo.
Patron.
They ended up with
Ferrari
one
was
with
Patron.
Patron.
The Ferrari.
Yeah, the Ferrari.
Yeah, really.
Hey, man,
Yeah, you had one. It was Ferrari. You go to get the second one, Ferrari. That's where you were at, man. Like,
I was
they
working
didn't skimp much, but
I was working the summer up in Alaska, and Fig sent me a picture letting a goddamn horse in, like a
True
horse.
story.
And
True story.
Tell it.
What?
Tell
Into
it, baby.
Jimmy's?
So-
Yes,
yeah, so
a
there was-
horse, a live horse.
There was a couple cowboys that would come through like once every month or two. That and I don't know if it was like Brokeback Mountain situation or whatever, but I don't judge anyway. I don't judge. Do your thing. But they worked at the Pitchfork.
Oh, yeah,
outside
yeah,
of,
Sounds
yeah.
bro.
outside of Guthrie, I think, or Benjamin, whichever one it is. But
Yeah.
That's a famous ranch.
Yeah, it is. So,
yeah.
but I guess they've got some acreage down around Brownfield, and so they would send those guys like once a month, once every 2 months to go do stuff down there. They'd stop at Chimmy's and they'd drink a Bud Light and have a shot of tequila, and sometimes they'd have 2 Bud Lights and 2 shots of tequilas, and sometimes it would just snowball. But I got to work one evening and they were they had their horse trailer in a parking lot out back and were giving girls rides on the horses. And I was like, this is gonna be good. Like they've been here for a minute.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
this is
yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
So I was sitting there. The manager at the time was back behind the bar, and the Cowboys came back in without a horse, and they said, "Hey, can we bring a horse in here?" I said, "Well, hold on a second. Like that's not really my call. Let me
I
ask
gotta
this
talk
guy."
to management real quick.
That's above my pay grade.
Yeah, I said, hey man, can we? They want to know if they can bring a horse in. He's like, sure, man. Like they're good, customers. They come in all the time. Like, yeah. So okay, so they wanted to bring him in, and this was before they had the big patio up front. They had the side patio, but there was like 3 little chicken shit wooden steps
Yeah.
that I didn't really like walking up. And so they were like bringing him up there, and I said, he's not going to do that, but yeah, go ahead. So this guy's a horseback, and that horse put one hoof on that little chicken shit wooden step. I'm like, no. I said, okay. I said, well, bring him up the wheelchair ramp. That's concrete, and he'll do it. So he sure enough did, and I was standing at the door like I was checking his fucking ID. And that cowboy rode him in, and that cowboy was sitting up on him, and the cowboy was in the foyer, and I'm just holding his reins like by his bit.
Did
at
nobody
the door.
take a picture of this?
They did, but it was
Fig took a
before.
picture. He took a selfie. He sent me to it.
Oh, I didn't take it. That was before selfie. Somebody else took it.
No, dude. I got a picture of you with that horse.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
but
gonna
that
need
was-
that. We're gonna need that.
We'll have to dig it up because that was pre-selfie. Like nobody
I mean,
had,
that's
Yeah,
2007,
yeah.
baby.
nobody had anything like
Everyone
that.
had
But the-
flip phones and shit.
Yeah, but the manager come up. He said, "Hey, bro, if that horse tries to come in, don't let him in." I said, "All right." I said, "Man, you pay me pretty well. This is a decent job." I said, "You pick the biggest guy out in here. I'll throw his ass out on the front lawn. This is a 1,500-pound fucking animal." I said, "If he wants to come in, he could come in, man. Like, you don't pay me that well. You don't pay me that well. So,
You're not gonna block his ass.
yeah, it was good.
Damn.
So, at a class, sometimes skip class on Friday, go to fucking Chimmy's, get wasted, and then y'all close at midnight, and then we go to Bar PM.
Uh-huh.
We know the fuckers. We don't wait in line and close that bitch down.
Uh-huh.
Dude, Friday nights were epic back when we were in school. Me and Eric, man. Chimmy's and Bar PM was we paid the light bill on that motherfucker every
I
month.
believe that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
I
we
seen
thank
y'all.
you for it.
I seen you.
We were talking about the other day, though. We would go in on our nights off and go give it right back to them. Whatever we made working for them that week, hell, we'd go back in there and give it right back.
For real. I mean, whenever I was like, I took my 5th year, victory lap at Texas Tech, and
Your farewell tour.
I did a 5-year there too, but then also did 2 more at South Plains before I even got there.
Hey man, actually, that's where I learned music at South Plains after I graduated Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, did that and like had to get out to make sure the money is not like wasted, And once I got my degree, I was like, don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. So Chimmy sounds pretty good.
They didn't tell you what to fucking.
And I told their ass, I was like, man, fuck. Instead of spending $100 a night, I'm gonna make hundreds. And then like after that, like it's like Fig, like, come on over, baby.
Let me let's shout out your mom real quick. What's your favorite home cooked meal from your mom?
Favorite home cooked meal from mama? Oh man. All right, man. All right. So she is a gourmet chef. She's a trained chef in like macro shit, all the things. I'm going to tell you my favorite meal from my mama. She calls them egg sight and roll-ups. All right. All it is, it's egg and cheese in a flour tortilla. And she cooks it perfectly. She cooks the egg, scrambled egg perfectly. The cheddar is perfect. Things like...
Are you saying she makes eggs enchiladas? Is that what you're saying?
Without the sauce, baby.
She makes burritos.
White girl
Egg and cheese
enchiladas.
burrito.
White girl flautas.
Flautas, that's what it is.
Flautas.
And
Without the fry.
yeah. And that's your favorite meal?
Dude, I'm not saying that's my favorite meal, but like when you ask that,
No,
to
yeah.
me, it like that's the one. I'm like, if it's like
That's
my
the one that
last
stands
meal,
out? Yeah.
like I'm like, dude, egg side and roll ups. I want egg, cheese, flour tortilla, boom,
Yeah.
done. Fuck it.
Fuck yeah.
But if we're going like last meal, like I want some sushi, baby.
Oh, dude.
Some
yeah.
really
I
good
love-
sushi.
I love sushi.
How about you, man?
Oh, I've said it plenty of times, man. My dad's fideo. I don't know if you've ever had fideo. It's
Talk
like,
to me about it.
It's like
So
best way I can
Mexican
describe it is a
spaghetti.
Mexican ramen. Because it's a soup. It's a soup. It's got these little tiny noodles.
I understand
And
that.
it's got ground beef. Dude, yeah, fire, bro. Fire.
All right.
And most people will fuck it up, but my dad made it so badass. And, of course, he's passed. But if that was my last meal, somehow, some way, I'd ask for
Dig it,
final
man.
meal. Like, yeah. But
No, I dig that, man.
But your mom, like her cooking, just blew my mind, and I'll never forget this. I'd never seen rosemary, right? So she made rosemary chicken. So we each get our chicken, and I'm like, hey, Grayson, do we eat this? And he's like, no, you fucking idiot. Like, pull it out of the chicken.
I mean, you can't eat that.
Yeah, my mom makes a terrific fidel too.
And he was like, no, you fucking idiot. You don't eat it. And I'm like, well, excuse me, bitch. I don't eat this shit. I've never had this shit.
I'm hearing lower middle class white people. Like I'm not quite sure how to act.
Yeah, I'll never forget that, man. It was fucking, Friday lunch, and we fucking go. She made rosemary chicken, and I'm pulling this fucking little thorny pine out of my chicken. I'm like,
She
do
got
I
it
eat
from the
this?
yard too, didn't she? She probably had rosemary in the yard.
No, she
Maybe
did.
the chicken too.
I know she did.
Yeah. And, all right, Sugar Bear. What's your first memory of me or Fig?
Well, I loved Fig the first day. I didn't like your ass.
That's fair, man. I got that rap a
I'm
lot.
kind of debating if I still like your ass or not.
Yeah, jury's still out, man. I understand. It's fine.
So the first time I met you, you're just a nice little douche white boy. and I'm like, this little motherfucker thinks he's a badass. I'm about to show his ass. And I know,
In a way, you were kind of a badass.
I know that Jordan thought that I know he didn't like me. I know he didn't like me. He was like, "Who the fuck is this Mexican motherfucker?"
I
over
didn't
here?
like how you compete with my heart, man. You're the only one that could.
And he was like, he'd kind of just look at me like, give me this face. And I was like, man, I'm really about to show this motherfucker. After about, I don't know, six weeks into the football season, he was like, I was wrong about you. And I remember him saying that. I didn't know that you were you, right? Basically what he was telling me. And then from that moment on, I loved the shit out of Jordan Bass.
Oh, bless your heart, sure.
I've always loved Jordan since week 6.
It took 6 fucking weeks. It took 6 fucking weeks, and here we are 20-something years later.
Whatever happened to your brother's Guatemalan presidential Mercedes?
I have no idea about it. I have no idea about any of that.
Dude, his brother had like a fucking diesel Mercedes. Was it your dad's?
No, it was, but real quick before we talk about that, Sugar Bear, love you, man.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you. I appreciate that.
Because you're the only, like I said, man, like, I spent the time at the houses, spent the time at Ty Tipton's house, spent time with all the other people, but, like, you're the only one who can compete with my heart. Like, I'm not trying to talk shit about other people, like, House, Tip, they had heart, but, and D, all of them, Julius.
I gave an effort like I wasn't good. That's the heart.
Say that again.
I gave an effort like I wasn't good.
Yeah, man, both of us did, and that's why we were the leader of the packs, man.
Yep.
I mean, I don't want to say this because I don't want you to, like, put your hands on me, but, like, no, I am going to beat you out just a little bit in heart. But part of it's just because, like, I got quicker legs and, like, I'm skinnier at the time. You know?
Did you ever get confirmation from like maybe your parents that you were good as a kid?
In different ways.
You did?
In different ways, yeah. Not on the athletic level.
That's what I'm asking. Like,
no, not on the athletic level.
I think
no.
that's where the person with the most drive and the most heart is the fucker as a kid that never was told you're good.
I mean, this motherfucker right here across from the table, like, dude, like, I'm not like talking shit. I'm just like standpoint on my own. Like, the only thing I can like be confident about is my heart and the effort.
Yeah.
And you're the only motherfucker that can match it. But like, dude, you were better as a football player than I was too. Like, and like.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where the heart comes from.
Right.
It's like as a kid trying to get that validation, like that I am good, but no one gives it to you. So you're
right.
Like,
no, I never got that. No, I never got that.
Because I was the same fucking way, man. People were like.
But you're a bad little fucking boulder, dude.
But that's what I'm saying. Like people were like, you're big, but you're so fucking athletic. You know what I mean?
Dude, you were like Jerome Jackson, man.
But it was coming from a place where I was always fucking trying to be told you're good, and I never was told like you're fucking good. Like
no, man, I just got shit taught to me, man.
Yeah,
I just got shit taught to
and
me.
That's why I think that's where I think the
constantly.
fucking heart comes from.
Yeah, man,
Really.
and my shit was like, man, fuck y'all, man. Fuck you, man. I know I can make a difference on the field. Like, dude, I was undersized at the weekend on the defensive line. Like, dude, I'm 50 pounds undersized, and I got like third on tackles for the team, like, and like second on sacks. Like, no, man, I'm making a fucking impact.
Yeah.
But like, nobody's telling me that shit. You know?
Yeah, because of you, y'all went 6-4.
That's sweet of you. Probably 4 and 6.
6 and 4. Like, we were
4
never
and 6.
over 500.
We went 5 and 5 with Porras fucking throwing to fucking Bear Johnson. I mean, we went 5 and 5 there, but shit.
Yeah, that was the only time, and that was our sophomore year when he did that, because our junior year we won 4 games.
That's true, man. And we won 3 of them out of district. And so one of my favorite stories about high school football comes from this man right here. So y'all remember the name of Cedric Benson?
Oh, yeah.
Bad motherfucker.
I watched that fucker in Lopez baseball championship run.
Dude was a hell of a baseball
God.
player.
That
He was
motherfucker took
really
his
good.
I got
R.I.P.
center.
Cedric, but
Yeah.
hell of a baseball player.
Fig, what did y'all
As
hold
well.
him in the first half?
We had him, and so it was my senior year, and they were up 10-7 going in a half, but we had just scored our 7, so a little momentum, and we held him to 63 yards in the first half. That's the least amount of yards in his whole high school
Seb
career.
Benson, 63 yards?
In the
Shit.
first half that he had his whole high school career.
He was with Lee, right?
Yeah, Midland
Yeah.
Lee. And then he come out the second half and ran for the most yards he's ever ran for in the second half. And he ended up with 363. He ran for 300 yards.
Put
on
300 yards on Permian.
I don't.
He played for Odessa Permian.
Yeah, I was a mojo. I was a mojo guy. I don't even remember the final score. Even I didn't want to look. I was like, shit. It was just a track meet, and
I'm sure Roy Williams shit the bed in that game.
well, so he was gone already. So he was a year older than me. He was already at UT doing good things up there. So.
You have seen some like epic shit, I bet, like Friday Night Light type shit.
Yeah, it really was, man.
Yeah.
Playing at Permian, I mean, and I was maybe the same height, maybe an inch or two shorter, and 165 pounds soaking wet when I was in high school, so I wasn't a big guy. So I didn't play much, but it was just crazy coming out. And I mean, in that stadium would hold 20,000 just in the seats. Now, when we'd play Odessa High, that was our big game every year,
Yeah.
you know. They'd sell out the grass in the end zones, too. And so, I mean,
They had grass seats?
So, it was just grass and some trees that we had on either, just outside of either end zone. We had a track around it too, so they would sell the grass seats out too just for the Permian and Odessa High game every year.
Fucking A, dude.
It was fucking amazing.
I bet it was
I'd get all pumped up and I'd sit on the sideline. Like, let me see what's going to happen now. Like, let's see what these guys can do. Come on.
You know, one time my brother and I, we were in South Bend, Indiana. We were going to go to a football game, a Notre Dame football game. And I was sitting at a bar with my brother, and it's just down the street from our hotel. And I'm just talking to my brother. We're ordering drinks, ordered some food, waiting for our food to come out. And I get tapped on my shoulder. And I turn around, and I look up, and it's a woman. And I was like, yes, ma'am. She goes, can I ask you something? And I was like, sure. She goes, are you from Texas? And I started laughing. I was like, yes, ma'am, I am from Texas. And then I hear in the background, see, I told you he was from Texas. I told you he was from Texas. And she goes, I'm so sorry. My husband, I'm here with my husband, and he asked me to ask you. And I was like, yeah, I'm from Texas. And then so he was like, man, he goes, I'm sitting here, I'm talking to my wife, and I hear this voice. He goes, and I tell her, this voice sounds like you're from Texas. He goes, and I don't even know what a Texas accent sounds like, but I'm thinking that's a Texas accent. He goes, so now I look over there. He goes, no offense. He goes, I didn't think the voice would be coming out of you.
He said, "Well, what if I take offense?"
And then I was like, "No, it's all good." I go,
rice and bean
I go,
eating
well,
motherfucker.
I go. I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican. I'm from Texas, and this is my voice. And he was like, "Man," he goes, "You know what? Sit down next to me." And he started buying me shots and beers and shots and shots and shots. Buying my brother some shots. All of a sudden, from the it was like an L bar, like L looking bar, and there's two guys sitting over there. And they wanted to chime in on the conversation too, right? Because we're talking about from Texas, and he was like, "Did y'all play football? No. Did you guys play football?" And we're like, "Of course." It's like my brother-in-law. He's one of the most winningest coaches in America. He's in the Hall of Fame, high school coaches Hall of Fame. We're like, no shit. He had something like 1,500 wins or something, and we're like. He goes, I understand it's not Texas, it's Vermont, but you have to be really good to still win 1,500 games. We're like, of course. And then he goes, did y'all guys ever play against Odessa Permian? And my brother was like, I did, because I played in Odessa at their stadium. It was the Friday Night Light Stadium. He was like, yes.
Fucking instant hard on.
And he was like, no shit. He goes, how the fuck was that? He goes, well, it was just sold out crowd like the rest of the crowds. It's Friday night football.
Dude, for real, Sugar Barely. All right, so man, some of my favorite, I know we're going to get around in favorite memories, and they ain't going to be my one, what I'm about to talk about, but one of my favorite memories is hey man, Lubbock High football in our years, 2 out of 3 years we stole those Spurs.
I don't feel like we stole them. We fucking took them motherfuckers.
That's right. That's right, baby.
I think that was my Super Bowl.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And the second one was even better than the first one. And the first ones were
second
fucking
one's the
phenomenal.
best.
Yes.
Dude, the second one was the best because it was Webster at halftime talking about, hey, if y'all holding the 13 points, we're going to win. Mm-hmm. And all sorts of wacky shit, blackout, whatever. But what I was bringing it around to was come freshman year at Texas Tech, when I meet this motherfucker over here, we're going down to Odessa, going down to Reagan Stadium. And he was like, you ready for this? I was like, yeah, motherfucker, West Texas football, I know about it. 20,000 people with propane tanks, with ball bearings, rolling that motherfucker around. Mojo.
You weren't ready.
I was like, God damn, man. No, this is a different situation.
I wasn't ready. Hell yeah.
No, that Permian shit's a different situation.
It was something, though. I'm going to go back and hit on the Texas thing for a minute, though. I think it's funny, and I guess just because of how I talk sometimes, I'll tell people, I've traveled around the world a little bit, and they're like, really? No shit. I'm like, yeah, I've been to Egypt. Huh? I've been across the pond to London. I've been to Dominican, Jamaica, Mexico, obviously, but it was.
Goddamn.
But I think it's
traveled
funny.
Man.
I think it's funny and y'all probably. I hope y'all probably do the same thing I do, where when I go places out of the country, I don't say I'm from America, and I'm American as hell. I love America, but I say I'm from Texas, and everybody's like, oh yeah, and kind of like you said, if I open my mouth, they're like, well, we fucking knew that already.
Yeah, we already knew that.
We didn't think you were from Boston or something, Yeah, right, fair enough.
Yeah, you're from California, John.
He didn't pop.
He kind of looks he has a little California vibe.
He didn't with that Burt Reynolds situation. Yeah. He's Hollywood right now.
You didn't park your car in the yard.
My car keys.
Hey, we're going to take a break, man. We'll come right back, and when we come back, man, we're going to ask you your favorite feel-good memories, man. Let's take a break. And we're back. Jordan, you have a story you want to jump into, man.
I'm not sure I want to jump into it, but I'm gonna. So we all know Mike and Paige. They're badasses. They got great bars around Broadway. First one they had was Bar PM, and Fig and I were working at Chimmy's and we're gonna close early, and we're gonna like go down there and give them tips and help them do the shit. These frat boys, I mean, I'm just gonna say it, white privileged motherfuckers acting like shit. These motherfuckers. I mean, do you agree, sir?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They were acting like shit at Chimney's.
Yeah.
We just kind of followed them down there.
Right. So we go back in, and if you've worked bar staff, you understand, like, on the same block, you're going to protect people, their same bar, their whatever. And so, like, that's what we're going to do, Chimneys for bar PM. And this one motherfucker, this one curly head white boy motherfucker, little 5'6", 125 pounds, and got a fucking, this little chip on his shoulder. He comes out with a beer after we have pleasantly put his ass out, and Fig's right out there. And this motherfucker just pulls his beer up to his fucking gullet. And I swipe that motherfucker as I'm grabbing his shoulder, and as Fig is grabbing his throat, allegedly. And
Yes,
grabbing another motherfucker, and we spike them on a car, on the hood of a car, like just spike their asses. Allegedly. And allegedly, we come to find out later that was Paige's car on her birthday.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Sorry, Paige.
Mike told Paige, like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be here, and no one's gonna fuck it up. And
And then they got all fucked up.
you got a frat boy.
Spike through that motherfucker.
That's exactly what the fuck allegedly happened.
Oh shit, man. Let's fucking jump right on it, man. Fig, what's your favorite feel good memory, man?
Man, I've got a lot growing up and everything, but I think lately, like, all my good vibes come from my little girl, Avery. And we got to take her to Florida this past week. In the little place we stayed, they did a fireworks show.
Okay.
Kind of late at night. And, well, right after dark, obviously. And, man, it was, and we were really close to it, and she was just like the wonder she had in her eyes. I was like, man, this is awesome. And like, I kind of looked at it too. I was like, man, I wish I could get that. I'm trying to, since I saw that, I'm trying to get that fired up about shit, like,
yeah.
like I want to kind of, I feel like we kind of lose that once we get older. It's like, it takes a little more to get us that excited about stuff. And maybe it's smaller stuff now we're adults. I'm like, hey, like, my phone's fully charged all of a sudden. I did plug it in or something, but
That's exactly what I was going to bring up, is like just the small victories in the day should mean a whole lot to us. Yeah. But to see the amazement in her face, and like, I bet that was a feel good.
Oh, it was, man. That's the best I felt in a while.
And how old is she?
She just turned 5 on Saturday.
Oh,
so,
dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Birthday,
bro.
baby.
Yeah, she is.
Where did you go in Florida?
We went to Destin. Like, we were actually in Miramar Beach area. And
Destin, that's north of Miami, right?
Yeah,
It's
so
like up by the Panhandle.
yeah,
right?
Destin and Miramar, and I think it's Seaside is up there too. I've never been to Seaside, but I think they're all right there on the Panhandle,
It's north of
like
Tampa.
Yeah.
Oh, north of Tampa.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
all right there.
Pensacola.
I think
It's the
it,
backwards pain.
some of that actually sits south of Alabama. I think the way it's
Yeah, it's
split.
hot as
But-
shit
it's-
over
Oh, it was, man. The
It's
humidity
the Florida
was stupid.
Panhandle.
Yeah, it's like the devil's butthole over there.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah,
Fucking-
the humidity was fucking dumb. But
Oh my
but
goodness.
the Uber guy was like, y'all. He said for 3 weeks straight they had rain. No shit. He said 3 weeks straight. He said I took a lot of people to the airport that were pissed off because they just sat in a room and either sulked or got drunk or whatever for 3 or 4 or 5 days, or however long they were here, and then
Because it
took them back.
poured?
Because it, yeah, he said I've never seen it do that.
Shit, I would sit out on the beach fucking pouring rain.
I would do.
Yeah, I would have done that
Yeah,
shit.
me
Hell
too.
yeah.
Let's do it.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, man. She goes to school here? here in town?
Yeah, so she goes to Miller Elementary.
So she's already in school.
Yeah, we started her in pre-K this past year, and she'll be in kindergarten this year. And I didn't know, man, at fucking 4 years old, I didn't know they started kids in pre-K at 4.
And then they graduate.
Yeah, they
And
did.
they
And I was like,
graduate.
congratulations. And I was proud of her, but I guess I see some of that now because when I graduated high school and my parents made a big fucking deal about it, I was like, did y'all have a doubt? Like, y'all didn't think I could fucking make it? Like, this is a pretty big party. Like, but now I get it. Like, seeing her just graduate pre-K, I was proud as shit. And, I was like, all right, let's
You're
do
all
it.
pissed
Good
at a
man,
graduation.
good man.
At your own graduation party.
Yeah, no shit.
What the fuck, Dad?
Yeah. I may go to college too, man.
You ain't got an oatmeal cookie and a juice box.
Go to Texas Tech.
Hey, Fig and I graduated together at Texas Tech.
We did.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
did.
were sitting in the same row and we bullshit. I fell asleep for a little bit. And,
Yeah, I did
That
too.
I
fucking
woke
ceremony
up.
is long as
God
fuck.
almighty, dude.
Fuck.
I bounced out.
And then we were the last ones too, ESS, and then our last names or my last name was in the V's, and I was like, good gosh, when the fuck is this shit gonna end?
Yeah, well, I thought about saying, fuck it, I just want to come back there and sit with you. Can I just go and just switch my card around, put it next to that guy?
He's like, I
I'm
know
good
that
with it.
fucker's got a bottle of
I'm
KD
good
in
with
his
it.
fucking
Yeah,
gown.
Mom and Dad, that's why it took me 7 years to get a fucking degree. Like,
Yeah,
let's do
hell
it.
yeah.
You know, Eric had a bottle of KD in that motherfucking gown.
Oh, it was
that,
a
that
party.
Kentucky Deluxe.
So I want to say a story. I think you may have heard it, JP. Fig, you definitely, and you, Sugar Bear, lived it. This motherfucker and this motherfucker Chad saved my life one night. We were at Jefferson Commons when Fig and I lived together. Got in some shit.
They stole our keg.
To say the least.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we didn't find the keg, but they stole it.
Yeah, somebody stole it.
Somebody, and they're the only ones.
No, I'd have bet good
And
money
so-
on them anyway.
And so,
Fuck them guys.
and so no bullshit. I'm not gonna tell other people's names out there, but there's some other people there, and like me and Sugar there, and like I got my friends, these other people, and then like I'm right in the middle, and I see someone just like start to shoot. I'm just like, I'm shooting, bam, and man, somebody, because we were outnumbered, they start pushing my ass over the balcony.
Third floor.
3-story balcony. Yeah. And Chad and Sugar Bear saved my fucking life that night because like they just like grabbed my ass.
They Suge Knighted your ass?
They Suge Knighted my ass.
No, they pushed him over.
Yeah.
And I reach over and I grab and I pull him back over because
And then I start swinging uppercuts. But no, man, Suge and yeah, man.
How fucking like wild was Jefferson Commons back in the day?
Oh,
Baby, that's the party.
the
That-
JCs.
Is there
Yeah,
is there
that's the party
anything
spot.
that compares like even now to
No.
what it was back then?
Dude, I don't think so.
think
It was the
I don't
fucking
know,
Wild
man.
West. Like
The day we fucking moved in, they were just like, hey, there's a keg party on the fucking basketball court. And we were like, we don't know where that's at, but we'll find it. Like,
Yeah, we'll go find it.
and no shit, we get over there, and there was like 3 kegs over there.
Yeah.
We were like, who do we pay? And everybody's like, we're good. So I think the fucking complex might have bought the beer. Like, I know I've bought kegs in the past, in college and shit. Like, just $5, get your cup, man. Drink it, drink all you want.
bro, you didn't have
Nobody gave a
nothing to
fuck.
do in town? Like nothing? Your
Nah.
friends weren't doing shit?
Nah.
Let's just go to Jefferson
Yeah.
Commons because I
Yeah.
know somebody's
Party.
doing something.
Party,
And
man.
sure enough, like 4 or 5 parties in that whole complex. You're like,
You ain't got nobody playing volleyball right now?
One time at the JC, it was a work party. And not really a work party. Like one of the guys that worked with us had an apartment there. And he threw a little party at his apartment, and then all of a sudden it's like midnight, and we're drunk as shit, and we're like, hey, let's go to the pool. So 20 of us go down to the swimming pool, right? and we all just take all of our clothes off, every single person.
Yeah, you do.
Buck ass naked, and we just jump into the hot tub. We jump into the swimming pool, and I bet we didn't get out till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Buck ass naked, every single 20, 25, 30. I don't know how many people were in that fucking swimming pool, but I know every single one of us was naked.
I know they had to clean that motherfucker in the morning.
There ain't enough chlorine in the fucking world.
They may have needed to clean that hot tub.
I know they
Clean
clean.
up in all 7. Clean up in all 7. Oh, yeah.
I know they cleaned that motherfucker that next morning.
I mean,
We had done that years after that. We did that. I hadn't lived there for 4 or 5 years, and same thing. We went over there. We knew somebody that was having a party, but like you said, there was 10 more.
Fuck yeah.
We just kind of
Yeah,
party
all the
hopped.
time.
We ended up sitting in the hot tub, just me and my buddy, just hanging out, drinking beer till all hours in the morning. People were going to catch a bus to go to school at Tech, and we're yelling at them like, "Hey, what class are you going to?" And they say whatever, like Psycho 101, like take notes. I'm in your class, whatever.
I had a buddy who had just finished, like I think he was way older, so probably like my second year at Tech, he was already done. But we're going to Jefferson Commons to party. I'm not even 21 yet, and got into a fight, whatever. And as
I don't believe
he was pissed or some shit, I don't know, but I
believe
remember
it.
like he picked up a rock to throw it at like the balcony where the party was at, and he chunks that rock, and then he's like, "Oh fuck, man, fuck, oh fuck," and I'm like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" He threw the rock and he lost his class ring as he threw it, and you can just hear that thing like bing, 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 and that
Good
motherfucker
luck.
was gone.
Oh
dude.
yeah.
She gone.
It ain't coming back.
she gone.
Yeah. So I'll ask you, Jordan, what's your favorite feel good memory, bro?
Man, I have since the very first episode of your podcast, dude. I was like, man, I would love to be on this thing, and if I ever am, I have to answer. If I'm ever on this thing, I have to answer that question about my favorite feel good memory, and man, I got a few different ones, but I think my favorite one. So, an undersized meathead trying to make it as a professional athlete. You know, like, man, I'm a 6 foot tall man, and at one point weighed over 205. That's not a small man, but for what I'm trying to do, that's a small ass man.
That was the most you've ever weighed, 205?
205.
Yeah.
But that was like gym
Yeah,
205.
yeah.
I mean, I weigh like 160 right now, and like, yeah, the 50 pounds was work. My favorite memory is when I realized I wasn't too stupid to learn music. And that was after I graduated college and I started to learn piano. And I left a piano lesson in Levelland, Texas, South Plains College.
Mm-hmm.
And
With Sally?
huh?
Sally? Was she the teacher?
She was not. It was Rusty Huddleston.
Okay.
And he had played for Merle Haggard. He had played for George Strait. And he and I have spent a lot of time with each other. And I'd always thought I was too dumb to learn music. And I remember one time it unlocked for me, like, and I had a 25-minute ride home to Lubbock, Texas, from Levelland.
Like it just showed itself to you.
It did. And I was like, dude, I'm like, my internal thoughts were, you are not too stupid to learn music. And it blew my fucking mind.
Mm-hmm.
And when I've thought, like, I got a lot of different other memories. But when I've thought about with the JP Lopez show is asking me.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one that's gonna, like, if I gotta, like, claim one, that's it. Like, I thought I was too stupid, man.
Why did you think that though?
Because I grew up a lot around really like a brilliant mama, brilliant daddy, brilliant brother, and so I'm younger than all of them. So I'm gonna, even if I'm brilliant, like I'm gonna be below them,
Yeah.
and they may not see my brilliance, so that's gonna make me feel a little bit below.
Less than.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if they have like right-minded situations and like they may be right, but also like maybe I'm right,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? And so it's like that's why I felt stupid or less than, because like I got brilliant people above me and I'm thinking outside the box. Yeah.
There's many ways to get to 6. You know what I mean? Like 2 and 4, or 6 individual, fucking 3 and 3. You know what I mean? There's
Right.
not one fucking specific route or one way to get to somewhere.
6 or a half dozen.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I get what you're saying, because sometimes you basically come up thinking like, and I see it all the time. Like I see it in kids. Like, you have a good story that like has always stayed in my brain. It's a certain family member that's got a daughter, and they were at a birthday party, and you were like, go play with them, and she was like, well, I'm not cool enough to play with them, or like she was not good enough to play with them, and you were like, dude, just go play with them, you're gonna have a fun time. And he like coached her up and motivated her up to go play with them, and then she had a fucking badass time. You know what I mean? Like I get like always maybe having that mindset of feeling less than, but bro, like to break through that shit, that's a badass fucking story, bro. I bet
that,
when it
brother.
revealed itself to you, I bet you were just like, fuck, like hell yeah.
I mean, it got my competitive heart like involved, where it was like, no man, you aren't too stupid to learn this shit. And like I've been saying earlier about like Sugar Bear, like he is even with all the motherfuckers I love on that football team, and maybe even better players than me, that's the only motherfucker that can match my heart. Like the only motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm still gonna say like, I'll beat you, bitch.
But I bet you won't.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the beauty of the shit. And like, we're gonna be both right and wrong on any given day.
We had we were drinking at a buddy's house, getting fucked up, and we've got a buddy that's smaller than you, bro. and I'm saying this for a reason.
Say it.
We get trashed, right? This asshole stands up, starts a fight, or tries to pick a fight, and tells Eric, "I can whoop your ass." and like it's laughable, bro. It's fucking laughable. Like, dude, sit your ass down. And then he's like, no, for real. Like, I'll fucking easily whoop your ass. And we were like, dude, you're for real? Like, you're for real? He's like, yeah, man. I'll fucking whoop his ass. And we were like, all right, man. Sit your ass down, bro. Because this dude will body your fucking ass. Like
I understand that you train for discipline, and you've worked real hard. Like I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I do karate, I do stuff.
I do Krav Maga.
Whatever it is, right?
Let me show you. Grab my wrist right here.
And you forget that I've been in a lot of fights. You forget that I weigh 350 pounds. You forget that I am strong as fuck. And you also forget that I was a state wrestler.
Right.
So when you tell me you're trained at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and you weigh 180 pounds, unless you are like a goddamn fucking champion
Killer.
of the fucking
Unless you're a
world.
killer, man.
I understand
Conor
that there is
McGregor,
180 pound Brazilian jiu-jitsus that would I don't have a chance.
You remember
But-
Tony
but-
Chabuco? 189 pounds, the baddest motherfucker in Lubbock County ever.
Dude, I witnessed this shit. I saw him, but you're not going to beat me. And I thought it was. I was like, you've been drinking too much.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like it's.
It was a
fine.
great laugh. And then we found out, or we realized, like,
Someone else found out.
it was just like, oh, he's not joking.
He's not kidding. He was like, he was dead serious. He's dead serious. And I was like, no, that like,
like,
I was
my
still pretty
furniture, man.
calm.
Don't
Like,
go,
I was like,
don't
that
go.
is not gonna happen at all. Like, I will win. I will beat you.
Totally, man.
But I think some of that, and we're all different guys and grew up differently and all met at one point, obviously. But I think some of that kind of what you were talking about and the way we live our lives is kind of to that mindset where, like, tell me I can't fucking do
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
Like, and sit your ass back and watch me do it.
Yes.
Like, I'm not saying I'm gonna come at you and be like, hey man, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm not.
Hey, you know,
I'm not. I love you. I wouldn't do that anyway. But
We're speaking in terms
Yeah.
of this fucker being an MMA guy.
oh yeah,
This dude was
Yeah,
a regular
absolutely.
Joe
Yeah.
Blow from
Yeah.
fucking
that
street.
that went
like-
training. That did some training.
Yeah.
I've got my white belt.
Yeah, dude. No.
Let me get behind you and put my arm under your neck, and I'm gonna choke you out. But you gotta let me do that.
You gotta yeah. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, all three of y'all are foxhole buddies to me. I mean, I know you. Actually, I knew you before I met Sugar Bear,
Yeah.
and then like Sugar Bear and I spent trench time in Lubbock High and all the shit, and then you and I. They ain't gotta describe all our shit. Please don't.
Then it's a fox.
Please don't say
It's a
anything.
foxhole.
Please don't say anything right now.
Yeah. Was that her name?
Yeah. Dude, and luckily my arm grew back a couple times.
Hey, do you got a song about that?
Fuck, I'm just gonna play a song to get us all out of everything.
Let me
right,
see.
come on.
Let me see it.
Well, let's take it home, man.
Y'all hear that on the guitar?
Put that down there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there you go, Fig. It's almost like you know what's going on.
A little bit.
He knows where to point it.
It was a song I wrote. I don't have no money, apparently no sense. I look at my bank account and immediately wince. Would I be a better man if I made more money? How dollars paint people's eyes sure is funny. Now I don't hate you if you have more biscuits than busted squares and a box of Triscuits, but there's plenty of people, hell, they don't have any. If we all care so damn much, how could there be so many? Don't take my word, ask your sister and your brother, not in your zip code or even your color, the ones you don't know around this blue rock. Please just have the courage to walk your own block. Now I don't ask for help unless I desperately need it. Even then it's hard for me to receive it, so my life is not built on perpetual credit. Tying your word to your money is bullshit. There I said it. Don't take my word, ask your sister and your brother, not in your zip code or even your color, the ones you don't know. Around this blue rock, please just have the courage to talk to people on your block. Please muster the courage to walk your own block.
Applauso. Hell yeah, man.
Nice,
I'm fucking happy to have you on, brother.
Thank you, baby.
And next time you're in town, we'll fucking do it big again, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Before we leave, man, you have any shout outs? Plug your Patreon.
Man, I hate plugging anything.
Plug it.
Other than your girl.
That one's okay because it's you, Ryan. It's all right.
All right, man. Just to like show up for my boy JP. That's exactly what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to say it. But like, no. Patreon.com/free jivin, free JIVAN. Yeah, but like honestly, like you're doing better shit than I am, man. Like you're taking photos, you're doing the podcast situation.
No,
like,
man, you're putting out some great in the world, man. I really wanted to have you on. I really love to have you on, bro. I'm a firm advocate of providing smiles, of providing good vibes, being the starter of a good time. And bro, that's all you, man. Everything that I've seen you like on your own, like on your socials, plugging and promoting yourself for just to have a fucking good time, bro.
You're a sweet man, JP.
Yeah, man, and that's all you, dude. And
You're a sweet man.
I'd love to have you back on again when you're in town, bro. But for sure, bro, you're doing great things too, man.
I appreciate that,
yeah,
man.
for sure, dude. And yeah, thank you for coming back on. Is that all you wanted to promote, man?
Dude, I want to promote John F. Newton as the fire department.
And the handlebars.
I want to throw this Burt Reynolds fucking handlebar mustache.
Hey, when's the calendar come out,
They
bro?
can take a picture. Man, they won't let us do one.
For real? No, I'm going to do it for you, baby. I'm going to do
We
it for
sell
you.
too many.
I'm talking your own calendar.
You can do it on your own.
Maybe I will, man.
Tell me that man ain't looking good.
That's what I'm going to
Tell me
shout
that
out.
man
My
ain't looking good.
own calendar.
I know a photographer, bro.
I know a damn good one.
We can get it done.
Hey, you got anything you want to plug, bro?
I ain't got no shout outs, man. Just to you, man, for doing this.
For real, JP.
I don't know what number it is specifically, but I mean, man, you hit 50, and I was like, holy shit, how did it already get here? But I watched most of them, man. I ain't gonna say I watched all of them. I watched every one that I could. I was like, shit, he's doing it, man.
I appreciate that, bro.
Man, and it was badass. Yeah. So whatever number we're at, 60.
I think this is 61.
Yeah. Have me maybe have us back for 69.
Yeah.
Hey,
69 sounds good.
Hey, for real. On shout outs, like, no bullshit. John F. Newton has been doing the thing in Lubbock, Texas, saving lives.
Sure. Yeah.
You've been doing the thing, helping out, and also, like, I love your podcast, man. Sugar Barely, man. You've been making, like, little young athletes into somebody, into, like, doing some shit. Like, so shout outs for all of y'all, man.
I appreciate that, bro.
I really, no bullshit. This ain't like trying to be humble, or this ain't trying. I feel all three of you motherfuckers, and I'm gonna say motherfuckers, so it makes me feel better about it. Nah, man, y'all been doing way more than what I've been doing for humanity. I mean, dude, you're doing shit, and like, Y'all are doing great fucking work. Y'all keep that shit up, man. For real.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate that, bro. I really do.
That is heart to all the soul, man.
Yeah, and I didn't want to. I didn't know if you were comfortable with letting people know where you work. When people come on here, man, I never disclose like where they work, man. But dude, my mom was in a pretty bad car wreck like almost a month ago, and I seen firsthand what y'all first responders are like. Dude, it was probably like 108 degrees outside, and y'all show up and I mean, y'all's jackets and y'all's like, dude, full gear, and I'm like, man, I've got nothing but respect for all of y'all, man. Like it was an eye-opening experience to realize it hit me like what the hell it is that y'all really do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate that, man.
People they can talk shit about first responders, like, we don't like the police or whatever. I've never heard anybody say, I don't like the firefighters.
Man, I know, and I feel bad about that, man. Like we've been on wrecks with PD, and they were like, "What have y'all gotten in trouble for lately?" And I couldn't think of shit. This guy came to work with us. It doesn't work with us normally. He said, "Well, we were on a medical call, and we like scorched this guy's grass kind of because we were parked with the exhaust pointing it." And that cop was like, "Are you fucking?" And this was like when it was terrible, like when it was real bad. And I was like, "That's what you're gonna tell this guy?" Like, what the fuck, but man? I have nothing but respect. We have great rapport, with PD and EMS too. Shout out to both of those folks. And PD is actually so we started real simple. So we've got some firefighter stickers. We like a little badge we stick on the back of the PD Tahoes. Yeah. And they have the same thing. The little junior police officer they stick on our fire engines. And now like people are getting real creative, going to getting their own stickers made just to fuck with each other, man. And it's awesome. Like we have great rapport.
Is it just in the movies, or is it like truly a rivalry between police and firefighters?
No, I think it's just in the movies, man. Okay. Like we fuck with each other, kind of like like I fucked with my little brother growing up. Like
so the police are your little brother?
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that. We're brothers.
Off record.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah, but it's not like the movies where they fuck, or TV shows where they hate each other.
No, not at all. Yeah. Not at all, man.
But in that park where they were dragging that lady that was on meth, the cop was dragging her.
Yeah.
But if we caught a firefighter dragging a lady at the park, we would like, hey man, that firefighter did a great job.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like I don't get that. And
they drag motherfuckers. That's what they do.
But it's we've got great rapport with all the entities. That we run with.
Good.
It's good stuff, man. We have to get along because like we see some fucked up shit.
No shit. Y'all are there together.
We are, and so. Just try to do the best we can, and I don't do anything that my fellow firefighter isn't doing the same shit I'm doing.
Yeah, they're gonna do the same shit.
It goes without being said, but I didn't even think of that y'all see some pretty fucking horrific shit.
First responders,
we do, and just I will say this: like, don't ask us like, what's the most fucked up shit you ever seen?
Yeah,
like, you're asking us to relive a pretty fucked up.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's you're in the military. Yeah, you fighting the war. Yeah, how many people did you kill?
Exactly.
Like, what kind of shit is that?
Don't do that.
Yeah. You got any shout outs, bro?
Got a shout out. Always got to shout out my wife, Alex. But also, I went to go buy a bottle of whiskey before I came out here, and I asked the cashier chick. I was like, "You been busy today?" She goes, "You're the third person I've seen today." They opened at 11. That was like at 6 something. Oh shit. So I told her, I was like, I'm gonna give you a shout out. Fancy Party Liquor Store. It's in the shopping center over there where Jazz is at. Okay. The cashier chick. Her name's Lauren. So she's gonna be working. Fancy Party Liquor Store. So go see them so they don't shut down.
All right.
Yeah, go show them some love because I didn't even know they were open.
Yeah, dude, and they had like great bottles in there of bourbon. I didn't even look at the tequila, but they had great bottles of bourbon that I wanted to buy at least 7 bottles. I just didn't want to spend $600.
Because it was called Drinks to Go, right, or something.
Yeah, it was
like
Drinks
that?
to Go.
Yeah.
Now it's a fancy party.
Fancy party.
Liquor. Fancy party liquor. And she said that like if you ask for something, then more than likely they can get it within reason. Don't be asking for pappies or shit. But they'll have some good bottles.
Good old fancy pants.
Fancy pants.
On that note, man, I want to shout out DJ Kipo, Tigre Burrito, Patriot Paint and Construction. Thank you guys, man. Thank you to all the listeners, man. And until next time, we'll see you. Reach some bucks!
Yep.
Oh, hey. Didn't see you there. This episode is brought to you by DJ Kipo. DJ Kipo handles all things like weddings, quinceañeras, anniversaries, and graduations. He's good at what he does, keeps the party going. And hit him up on IG, TikTok at DJ Keepo 806. Once again, that's DJ KEEPO 806. Oh, it's you again. This episode is brought to you by Patriot Paint and Construction. They specialize in commercial and residential. They also specialize in drywall and paint. No job is too big or too small for them. Hit them up at 806-544-7199. Oh, you're still here? This episode is brought to you by Tigre Burrito, located at 720 Highway 62 in Wolford, Texas. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. They specialize in breakfast and lunch burritos. They've also got some plates. Tell them JP Lopez sent you. But breakfast burritos are pretty fucking huge, so you better bring a big appetite. They're the shit.